today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing another half high-end, half affordable makeup. So most of these products I think can be bought at a drugstore. If they're not bought at a drugstore, then they'll be someplace you can find them that is affordable. So whether it's online or whatnot, they're going to be affordable prices on one half and more high-end, more expensive on the other half. We're going to see how well I can dupe it out. Now, not all these products are going to be perfect exact dupes, but they're going to be similar things that you can use to get the same kind of look. I am going to be using my Naked 2 palette for my high-end side, so you guys will be able to see the look I create with that. As much as I can, I've tried to pick out high-end brushes and drugstore brushes and just do as much separate as I can to show you the full effect. Drugstore with drugstore brushes, or more affordable brushes, high-end with more high-end brushes, etc. Also, I've spent the entire morning swatching basically everything I own, and I've tried to find the closest dupes that I have. I did not go out and purposely buy dupes that I knew already existed for this video. I literally just went through all of my makeup and said, what is the closest? What can give me the same similar look? And I was actually surprised at how hard it was to find blush dupes, and I was actually happy because I'm like, wow, that means I'm not buying a lot of the same colors, which means that my collection is completely justified instead of being like, wow, I have 5 blushes that are exactly the same. If you get what I mean. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and just jump right in. Alright, so I'm going to start off with high-end on this side, and then I'll do the drugstore on this side. Alrighty, so for my high-end side, I'm going to start off with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And on the drugstore side, this has been repackaged, but this is the Sheer Envy Skin Perfecting Primer from Hard Candy. Alrighty, I'm going to put some pore filler on, and on the high-end side I'm going to use Dr. Brandt Pores No More. And I'm just going to put this on my cheeks and a little bit on the side of my nose. And on the drugstore side I'm going to use the NYX Pore Filler. Alright, so for foundation I went with what was the most similar in color. I don't have a lot of foundations, and I like that for a reason, just because I feel like they go bad and I just don't want to waste foundation. So the ones that were closest in color to each other was my NARS Sheer Glow in Deauville and my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in 102. I am going to be using a actual beauty blender and then a knockoff brand that I bought from Burlington Coat Factory. I wasn't very kind to my beauty blender. I used it a few times and then I tossed it kind of in a drawer and it was dirty, so it's kind of stained, and I tried to scrub it out really good, but it's still a little stained, so forgive me. I should treat it better, especially for a $20 sponge, right? These foundations actually look pretty good, like as far as the color match. I'm pretty happy. I don't feel like I'm going to be walking around looking like I have 2 different colors of face on. Alright, for concealer I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Full Cover on this side in color number 5. And on this side I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Conceal in the color Light. Alright, for powder I'm going to be using the same ones I did last time I did this video. So I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralized Skin and Finish in Medium Plus on this side, and Revlon Nearly Naked in Light on this side. And for the MAC, I'm going to be using my Bedhead brush. And for my Revlon, I'm going to be using a e.l.f. powder brush. Alright, for bronzer, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer on this side, and then my e.l.f. contour palette on this side, and I'm going to be using the darkest shade. I'm going to be using a Shoot Mirror brush to apply the bronzer on this side, and a Flawless concealer brush on this side just to blend it out. These obviously aren't dupes of each other, but they are high-end and low-end. Alright, for blush, I'm going to be using the color Curious, and this is a limited edition blush found in my Big Thrill palette. It's right here. It's a beautiful peach with just a hint of satiness to it, It's not super shimmery or anything. And on the Drugstore side, I'm going to be using the City Color Be Matte Blush in the color Fresh Melon. Now this is matte, so it doesn't have any little bit of sheen to it, so that is a difference between these two. But I think once you add a little bit of highlighter to it, I think it'll kind of give it the same look. And the color match is super close. For brushes, I'll be using the Sedona Lace FB05 and the Professional Powder Brush from e.l.f. Okay, next for highlighter, I'm going to be using the Clinique Chubby Stick. This is their Sculpting Highlight Illuminator, and this is in 01 Hefty Highlight. And on this side, I'm going to be using a stick highlight from e.l.f., and this is in the color Persimmon. And I did check to make sure this is still being sold and made, and it is in fact. Alright, so for eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Naked 2, and I'm going to go into this color Tease. And I'm just going to fill them in with powder. And for my other side, I'm going to be using the Au Naturel Bare Necessities, which I did a whole video showing the color comparisons between these two palettes. And it's just the matte brown from here. And my brush selection is from Sedona Lace. This is an EB17, and this is just a kind of no-name brush I just had in my collection. For eyes, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in just the original formula. On my high-end side, I just actually have a sample of this. And on the other side, I'm just going to use the Mineral Eyeshadow Primer from e.l.f. Okay, for my high-end eye, I'm going to go ahead and use Foxy all over the lid just to give it kind of a nice base for all my colors to transition into. And then I'm going to go ahead and add Tease to the crease. And then I'm going to do the lid with Half Baked and Chopper. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the black just to smoke out the corners just a tiny bit. For my brushes, I'm going to be using Sedona Lace brushes. This is EB09 and this is EB21. For my Drugstore side, I'm going to be using the Au Naturel palettes. Like I mentioned, I did a video comparing these. And I'm going to be using Nude Awakening for the matte. So this is the first color right here. And that's the more rosy tone palette. I'm going to be using shades 3 and 4 in the lid, and then I'm going to be using the black from this palette right here. For brushes, I'm going to use this one from Morphe, and this one is just another kind of no-name brush I just had in my collection. So I'm going to curl my lashes and put mascara on. I didn't have my Drugstore eyelash curler with me right now, so I can't use that. But I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Clump Crusher extensions on this side and the Stretch Tex Touch and Sol mascara on this side. I don't know a lot about this mascara except for it's sold at Sephora's. Alrighty, I'm pretty much finished, so let me go ahead and do lips. For lips, I have the Too Faced Melted Fuchsia on this side, and then I have the Makeup Revolution Salvation Velvet Lacquer on this side, and this is in the color You Took My Love. Alright. Alrighty, so this is the finished look. High-end drugstore. Guys, so I just want to do a quick little update. I did my makeup this morning around 9 o'clock. And since then I have been to the doctor, I've been to the post office, I took a nap for 20 minutes, I had lunch, I had a snack, so I've done lots of stuff. So obviously my lip product is completely wore away, but actually the Makeup Revolution side stayed better with just drinking things than the melted Too Faced side, so I was kind of surprised about that. So here's how this side is looking. I think the shadows still are good and vibrant, they're not creasing. My eyeliner still looks good. I like the mascara on this side better because it's a little bit bigger, I guess. More noticeable. And, you know, you can still see a little bit of that blush going on. A little bit of highlight still going on. This side, I think, you know, has worn away a little bit more, but really not bad considering it's been on for several hours. And for some reason, I feel like there's some, like, dark circleness coming on this side. I mean, you can see, like, I don't know if that's mascara smudging or eyeliner or concealer wearing away, so I don't know that that's very helpful, but I just think overall, like, this eye, look how much brighter that looks on this side. But overall, I mean, I definitely don't like this eyeliner as well as the Stila. The Stila is my holy grail. Like, it just looks perfect. Like, I love this eyeliner. Overall, I still think that the products I use on both sides are great. You're going to expect it to last a little longer, I think, when it's high-end, but it's really not that big a deal for me to just reapply a little bit if I was going somewhere tonight. So anyway, that's my little bit of update. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you could see how many wonderful things you guys can use from the drugstore that are affordable to get a very similar look to what you can do with high-end makeup. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love to have you guys on my channel. And as always, I will see you next time. Bye! Okay, my powder I feel like I made pretty good progress on. I definitely widened the pan quite a bit from last month. And this is only my first update, so that would have been where I began in the project. But it's almost getting to the point now where I might have to, like, break it up and repress it, because when I'm getting my brush